It's Friday. Mm, 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 mm. What are we looking at? We're in Claude code. Ooh, Claude, one of the premier, if not the premier, AI coding solution, tool, project, thing. He's real smart. This is the third day that we've been clodding with code, that we've been coding with Claude, that we've been asking our robotic friend, or robotic robot, adding an IC at the end of that adds a lot of different context. Um, but we've been using Claude to build out features. Yesterday, we were working on getting video implemented, um, and we failed. However, oh, the music stopped. We also got to choose music for today. Did I really get through the very end of the playlist? Nah, it's just not playing. Cool. And this one? Next one? Yeah, we got plenty more. Go to sleep. Um, Yesterday we were trying to get video rendered and we were having a lot of bugs. And after the stream was over, I was still working on it. Still couldn't figure it out. Kept going back and forth. Kept trying new things. Kept working through revisions. And last night I finally got it working. So we got video rendering. So first I'll show that. And then today we're going to be working on two things. Hopefully. I see no reason why there would be as many hiccups as trying to get video to render. The first thing is we're going to be creating tutorial screens. So when you first boot up the game, when you enter adventure mode, you'll have tutorials, just like screens maybe you could revisit too. We gotta think of how we want to put it. It's so funny having this music play. And that way you get associated with like the general thrust of the theme of the game, as well as the controls. And the second thing I want to do to get a framework for is the achievements menu, where we're going to have tracking of all the achievements that you've gotten in the game. I have a vision of having achievements internal within the game, and then achievements that we can tie to Steam. So those are the two things we're going to be doing today. We got a couple hours to do that. But first, let's take a look at video rendering in the game. And as you fall asleep to this lullaby of Brahms. Na, na, na. We'll boot up the game. And I think all this stuff is still, yeah. I don't know why Visual Studio is not showing. Sometimes you have to like get it synced up. There it is. Is Visual Studio. Okay. So here we go. I'm gonna go in adventure mode. It's video. This is our stock video that I showed. And you see, you can go to the other screens which don't have video. It uses the image. But here, boom! And if we go in, we're just using the same one for the in-game. Look at that. It's looping. This is like a 25-second clip. And looks great. Looks great. Granted, it's a very simple simple video. But I'm really happy with that. So this paves the way in order to do other video. So to research other videos and start looking into having video for all of the screens. As I mentioned yesterday, I want to have a video running in the background on loop for each of the worlds on the adventure menu here. So that's 10 of them. And then in level, I probably want 2 different video. One for the first 15 levels, and then one for the boss. Just because the boss might be different. If we don't have that, you know, it's fine if we just have one for each of these, but there's no reason we couldn't do it for the boss if we wanted. So then that'll be like 3 different video that's emblematic, representing the worlds. Gives you like you're in it. And these are going to be real life, either stock video that we find, video that I'm taking. It's going to be real life video. But you can see I just scrapped this video, you know, it has a giant watermark on it. If we get stock video, put it in the game, of course, we're going to pay for it. So there you go. Looks great. So the first thing that we're going to be building out that's new today is we go back to the menu here. I'm also going to have some sort of background for gauntlet mode. Right now this is just a black screen. It's okay. But if I go to continue run here, again, I'm using a static background. I'm going to want to implement video on this screen too in the background for each of the worlds just to show where you are. So it's something I need to extend. So here, when we start the adventure mode fresh, brand new, I want there to be a series of tutorial screens to tell you how to play the game. And these screens will only show up if you've never seen them before. And alternatively, I want the ability to go back and view the tutorial at some point. So I got to think about UI a little bit here in terms of Steam as well as a phone. Now, when we get to a phone, we're just going to have to revamp a lot of this UI. But I've been trying to make it simple because, like, we're in the adventure menu here. These are giant buttons that you can just press. Remember, this is the Quirky Classical channel. Vivaldi Spring Acapella. Sure. So that's what we want, is to think about UI for that reason. So when I'm here, these might turn into like buttons. Like this whole screen's gonna look different. But what we want is a tutorial screens, and that can be accessible as a menu somewhere. We already have cutscenes in the code base that this is based off of in Blisterblight. There's a lot of different cutscenes in that game. And then by cutscene, usually what I mean is an object that you're moving from one thing to another in order. So it's like when this is done, it's going to move on to the next set of things, which moves on to the next set of things over and over and over until the scene or whatever it is done. And I'm already using that actually when you start a level. Technically, that's a cutscene. So if I go in here and I press to start, this is a cutscene. It's counting down 3, 2, 1, go. So that is a cutscene that runs every single time. 3, 2, 1, start. So that's what I want to have implemented here, is those kinds of cutscenes. Makes sense? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to work on that first, And the next thing I want is an achievements menu that you can access somewhere. Here, I'm not sure where that's going to be. Probably from the home menu. But maybe there'll be extra spots here to click on the adventure menu that you can just tap if you're on a tablet or a phone. Or maybe you could, like, we see there's a button down here that is eventually going to be a back button you can press on your phone. But look, there's another space for a button right here that could just be like achievements or scores or, you know, there's ways to add stuff to the screen if we want. So that's what we're going to do. So let's go to Claude. And we're going to create a prompt in a new session. I also made it, asked it to remember its context. So context within Claude means it's going to remember certain things. So it's going to remember stuff about the adventure menu and the hood. This looping video player that is using to run this. And from that, it won't relearn things. Ideally, it's going to remember things, so I don't have to reiterate things as we build out stuff. So we'll close out that. And when we're making prompts, we want to write them pretty verbose. So I prefer to use something like Notepad here. So let's go ahead and do it in Notepad. Make it real big. And this is going to be our prompts for the tutorial screen. So when we're writing up a prompt, just like you would for just a chat AI, you want to be as verbose as possible, but especially when coding, you really want to be specific for what you want to build. So let's get going. I said the new feature to build is a tutorial that the player must view the very first time they start the adventure menu. Start the adventure via the adventure menu. This tutorial is in essence a set of screens and videos now that we have a looping video player to run them, that go over both the story of the game as well as the general controls and gameplay. Controls and gameplay design. I'm fine, or I'm happy. I'm not just fine, I'm happy with using the existing infrastructure of cutscenes. Using the cutscene class. You can see that this was used extensively in Blister Blight, because there were many cutscenes built out for interacting with bosses. bosses, and dialogue. More. So this is what I want built. And one, I want first time you start the adventure menu. That it opens a cutscene. Maybe this is a new game state with logic in the game class that goes very engaging. Just watching me type. Hey, this is the new coding. Get used to it. What are you doing? I'm watching someone write. New logic. New game class. Just like other menus. That when it's done, it returns, or it goes to the instrument. I want the ability to view the tutorial at any time. Perhaps this is done via the options menu or via the main title screen. Right now, I don't want to restrict playing Gauntlet mode before the adventure mode. But we can consider that future, whether the player has to make progress or need adventure mode for doing Gauntlet mode. Man, this is a lot. But again, you want to be as verbose as possible. So we're building out everything we want to say about the tutorial that we're making, or that we want it to build. And then off of that, we'll ourselves code and change stuff, and then we'll keep going back and forth. Within the cutscenes, I want to manually press a button to go from one screen to the other. Each cutscene will have an image and or video with text at the bottom. Again, similar to dialogue cutscenes that were in Blisterblight. I think that's everything. Cool. So I think this is enough. All right, we're gonna do a new one. Bam! Sklam. We're getting into the real quirky part of of our quirky classical playlist, by the way. So what it does every single time you start a new session in Claude, it's going to, yeah. So it's going to be analyzing different classes that I said. It's going to start up its own copy of the project. So here we have our file explorer. And we can see that for each work tree, it had a different work tree here. It just started up a brand new one, which I believe is a kind pilot up here. It just comes up with 2 nonsensical words and then a sequence of characters. That's a copy of the whole project, and it's going to be making changes in that, which we can then merge over to our project or just copy code as we want. So it starts an agent, it's exploring the cutscene system, the menu, and analyzing what we're working with. Now, different stuff it's going to remember from previous sessions. So hopefully it does remember some stuff from the adventure menu before, just so it doesn't have to relearn it. The context, though, of what we're working with is not that big. Relatively, like if you're working with like an enterprise product that is like a ton of different screens and a web interface and stuff like that and database, it'll be more than what it's trying to deal with here. But still, it needs to look at data structure and all that before it can start deciding, hey, this is something we can build. It's seeing like, hey, how does the save file persist first-time flags? So we don't have that many first-time flags in the game. We do, almost all the data in the game is level-based. And anything that is global saves in the game is based off of how you've done in individual levels. So for example, if it's giving you a summary of like what is the A ranks you've gotten in the game, or what is your what is your best score? Like it'll save a best score for a level, but for the best score of like a world, it'll just look at all the levels and do aggregates on the fly. It'll do calculations. So there might be some overall stuff that gets added, but even like achievements, like we're going to be doing hopefully some achievements too today, at least building out the framework of that. And when you're thinking of achievements, that kind of stuff can just be used from individual level data and calculated on the fly. So if you have an achievement of, oh, you got all the S ranks in one given world, you don't need to save a flag that says you did it. You can just always look at all of the levels in that world and said, hey, did you meet that achievement? Granted, it could be easier and simpler to save a static flag. But at the same time, you can say, well, maybe it's easier to not even need to save that because it's super quick to just calculate it. Might be a little bit different for achievements that are in Steam, which when you earn them, you earn them. You don't lose them. So for example, if you like wiped out your save and started a new save file and it was always done dynamically, all your achievements would be lost because you wouldn't have those achievements anymore. It's looking at menus, it's looking at the game one. What's great is like you can take little naps too now when you're coding. They're integrated. They're integrated naps. You're like, ah. Are you done working? So if I was going to build this all out, I would probably create a new cutscene class. So So if we go to Visual Studio here, on the right, we have cutscenes. All these are older cutscenes from, again, Blister Blight, which this project is based off of, in terms of the architecture of the code base. So all this stuff's present, that was present in the old game. But say if I go to a cutscene here, this is a really long one, the game start to title cutscene. You can see there's all these animated sprites, text blocks, and as it goes from one cutscene to another, it says, well, how many segments were completed before we do the next thing? So it'll say, hey, there's some game time. Once that's elapsed, it goes to the next one. Once that box is done updating, certain animations are done, that writing state is completed, it's going to go to the next one. And I labeled like this opening cutscene, which took a long time to make. A long time to make. Of all the different parts of this opening cutscenes to the game. So it's a real long cutscene here. Some of them could be really short. So this is like an email reply scene. So whenever you answered an email in the game, you would just have something pretty quick. It says, hey, if there's a reply text box showing, what are the text blocks that's supposed to be there? And if it's completed, no longer show it and say you're done. I said kind pilot. It's kind Joliet. I just gave it the reins to do as much as it wanted. And then we're going to look at all the updates it did and either bring them over piecemeal or just slap them all in and see what it looks like and continue editing. Meanwhile, now that we got video working, we could just see how, well, I think it's almost done, but we'll come back to this. So we were looking in Upbeat that there are these stock videos in Upbeat. And, you know, like here's one of a solar panel. So this is one place, like I already have a subscription to Upbeat for the music that's playing. And pretty sure I can just get these guys to use too. Freedom. Every project. Here, let's find a good one for solar panels. Doot, doot, doot. I want one that like so a lot of them are doing this aerial view. I guess it's kind of hard to show like if I'm looping a video, when it gets to the end and loops back over, is that going to be kind of jarring? You know, that's not too bad. But like there's so many options too, because you know solar farms are fairly popular. How are we doing? Ooh, it's done. All right, let's read the summary and then we'll see what updates it did. I'm gonna move this over a little bit so it's a little bit easier to see everything on screen. What was built? The 5-slide cutscene class, beautiful. eSlide is a placeholder text for story, world, objectives, controllers, plus a comment marking where to swap in Arter or video player. Fantastic. Enter advanced slides, exit fadeouts and skips. When it completes, it reads the game state to know where to return. And we got a lightweight wrapper. Mirrors the new game pattern. Cool. We have some modified files here in game state. It added a tutorial sequence. Good. We have a new has seen adventure tutorial field as a game status. Instantiates the scene and load content. Cool. It's start new game. Now checks the flag. First adventure run. It says whether it's going to do it or not. That's great. And the controls menu. Add a view tutorial button. Really? Let's see if that works. A note on persistence. The has seen tutorial lives in game status. But this is saving to device is still to do, so the flag doesn't survive a game restart yet. The tutorial will only play once. Got it. When save data is wired up, the flag will persist automatically since it's already in game status. So cool, that looks like a nice start. Here we can always click in and we can see what it did. It added some new buttons to our controls menu. It integrated it with our controls menu. If we scroll up, we can see other files that it updated, like the game state. We can see, again, the game state here, that it added a new state, the adventure tutorial sequence, which is what I asked it to do. It's great. This is again showing controls menu stuff. If we go up here, we can see the game state updates that it did. So it added a new adventure tutorial sequence. Added some stuff in game state. And cool, it's even seeing what it used, what tools it used. Shows us the plan. And all that looks pretty good. So where does all this stuff live? It lives in this new work tree right here. So we can go in here and share it, and we can see all the files. Anything that has an exclamation point means it was changed. However, we can more easily see it in Git. So if I go into show more options, I go to the log. Here we have this guy. Make sure I'm actually moving the right thing. Yep. Just cover my face, who cares? So working tree changes. And we can see these are all the changes that it made. We'll just move it up like this. So we have our updates to the game class, game state, the controls menu. We have our two new classes right here. And then other modifications. Cool. So, as we're just going to be working with it, it looks pretty benign, the updates that it's doing. Let's just merge them all in. So first we need to commit it. So we're going to commit this guy. I'll just check them all. I'm going to say this is the initial review. Initial tutorial cutscene implementation. And I like to say Claude updates now to know it was Claude who did it. Oh my gosh. And then all of a sudden Twinkle Twinkle Little Star goes on. That's quirky classical, if I've heard of quirky classical. All right. So there we go. That's committed. And then we're going to go back to our project. And instead of going in shared, we're actually just gonna right click here, show more options, and we are going to merge this in. So we're gonna select the Claude branch that we had. I'm gonna say okay. And it says, hey, there is gonna be an issue with our project items. So why don't we abort? We'll do a little commit here on ourselves. And we have a bunch of stuff that we've done since last time. We're not going to commit any of the Claude stuff. That's all the stuff that's in progress. So we're not going to commit any of the Claude stuff, but we'll commit our own stuff that we've changed. So this was mainly video player updates. And then we'll merge. I'm using TortoiseGit. A lot of people have different tools that they like to use for Git. Some people just use what's it called? Just the internal Git that's tied to Visual Studio. There's a lot of different Git tools. I just am used to Tortoise. Hey, welcome to meet Ahmed. Yeah, you can follow along. I have 2 sessions yesterday that are also doing coding with Claude. So I'm explaining what I'm doing as I go along, as I'm making features here. So welcome. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna merge this guy in. What does it say? While merging, there's a conflict. Uh-oh. Cool. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a look at our conflicts. We gotta do some of this. This is the project item. So this is the one that we knew there was a conflict. So what we can do is we can edit the conflicts. And conflicts type. This is a build file too, which is weird that this is being included in the project. Because a build file is something that, I mean, this is going to be wild to show on screen, but I'll just show it. It's not going to make a whole lot of sense. Whoa, crazy. So essentially there is a left side and a right side, and then the merge. And it says there's a couple conflicts here that have to do with the project. And this is saying like what's in the build and what's included. I'm surprised that this is part of what's being merged. But like here, I want to say, yeah, choose the right side. It's so tiny. Yeah, copy to left. Where is it? Copy to right. I don't know. Copy to left. Can I copy to left? No, this is fine. Bada bing, bada boom. We done? I think these are done. Okay. I'm not too worried about build files because when we rebuild things, include things in the project, those project items should, that file should be generated. Like, I'm curious why that's in source control. Anywho, let's go to Visual Studio and take a look at our updates. So it says the project items has been modified outside. And I want to say discard. All right. Now it created new files. I think I'm done with this music too. And where are those files located? Well, one, it doesn't have our looping video player, is no longer part of our thing here. So there's some stuff with the project file. I gotta get that project file out of the source. It keeps modifying the project file, which is weird. And where are these new... I think it might be in cutscenes. No? Alright, first we're changing this. This is brutal. Let's just have some chill hop. Let's go back to Claude. And where did it put these guys? Adventure tutorial. An adventure tutorial screen. Adventure. Oh, there it is. Oh, cool. And here you go. Oh, put it in as a video transition. Neat. All right, let's make this a little bit bigger. And then we can look at our game class. We want to take a look at that too, because that has the logic in that it put in, as well as our options menu. So our options menu, pause menu, I think. Let's see, this has that one. Which one did it put it in? The controls menu. The pause menu. So here in the controls menu, we have a new view tutorial button. Cool. It was all wired up, which is great. In the game one class, we have the tutorial, I believe. So it wired up a tutorial scene at the top. Hey, J Explorer Z. Thank you, appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. And we're gonna go down to take a look at the adventure tutorial scene here. In the game class, this is the game one class. This is in mono game where everything's running off of the game one class. So it's running on a loop from game one. And from that, it branches out into all other parts of the game. So from game one, it's going to be running the update loop and the draw loop. And then based off of where you are in the game, it's going to send you that way. So for example, from the update loop, it's going to run through and check, hey, what's the game state? So it might be sending you to a logo video, title screen, tutorial sequence, and this is the new one that's going to be going in. And yeah, we'll be starting the game soon to see these updates in action. So it has this tutorial screen right here. This is brand new. And I like how it created nice little slides for the different things, which is cool. And it built in a whole thing. Fantastic. All right. Dude, it even added text bases based off of what it learned and what I've talked to it. That's fantastic. So good. All right, let's try it out. Hey Jay, I am a part-time developer. So this is a part-time project that I've been working on, and I've worked on another game project before this called Blister Blight. So, yeah, this is a game that will probably be released either later this year or early next year. So, let's see if it shows up. We're gonna do adventure menu. Look at that! Unbelievable. So what's cool about this, there's multiple reasons why this is cool, and why this worked right away. There's so much that it built out from learning from Blister Blight, the code base this is based off of, which is an action platformer, that it built all this out. So this next and skip button is something I had from a cutscene I built out. Then we have some text showing here. This is Switch Blight, which it knows. It was supposed to choose Switch Blight. We had a sprite for Switch Blight that we're using for emails in Blister Blight. And here you go. He's talking to us. So if we click next. Again, the text is way too small. You know, this is just obvious, but we keep clicking next. Clear all the bricks. Match the ball color to the brick color to destroy it. Faster you clear, higher your score. I don't remember. I feel like I wrote something. Like, I think I wrote this stuff, but I think it wired it all together. Yeah, I think it wired it together. And you click it next, it fades out. Here, adventure menu. That was awesome. Now those screens are going to look different because, of course, the text is going to be way bigger. There's going to be updated text, video, and stuff showing, you know, if it's telling you, oh, this is how the game works, it'll show like video of how the game's working. But yeah, you can jump straight in. And if you haven't seen the game before, Jay, I can just jump in and show it. So you're a ball. It's called Switch Ball Deluxe because the main thing is you're switching colors. This is the very, very first stage of the game, which is just showing how combos work. And there's a turbo button, so you can hold down a button to go faster, or you can just go a little bit slower. This is the speed level. It's all one color. If you've ever played Bomberman or Bomberman, it uses the same perpendicular explosion. Or diagonal is another way to put it. So there you go. I didn't do that one too fast. 18 seconds. And you get ranks for how quickly you beat the level. So you see S rank was 11 seconds, A, etc. Later on in the game, there'll be many more colors. So for example, if I go to one of the later ones here, there's 3 colors. And, you know, if you're blue, you get a combo for hitting blue, but say I'm blue and I hit the wrong color, I'll lose my combo. And now I have to go back and I'm only destroying one brick at a time. So if I want to hit yellow, like that, oh, combo broke again, and then I can start a new one. So you're constantly switching colors based on what color you are. You can see that the pipe around it shows your color, shows the charge to the left. And you're trying to beat the level within a period of time. And that's the essence of the game. That's the full game. But every single world unlocks new gimmicks. Gimmick is just the game design word for features that are unique to the world. And the whole game is about maintaining combo as you clear levels. So that's the game. I can show a couple of gimmicks. So for example, in windmills, now normally the ball is always moving up, down. You do left, right. Well, on windmills, now you're moving left, right, and you can press up, down if you hit a rotation brick. So if I go to something like Dirt Devil, which is again a speed level, which is an earlier one. This one's just yellow, but here, if I hit this, now I'm moving left, right. And the controls are constantly swapping. So I'm just pressing up, down to move. And again, you can always hold down turbo. Right now I'm doing it on keyboard. This is a game that, because of its simplicity, it's also going to be for iOS and tablets and stuff. And then each world as you go along, it's going to be having those new features, and each one is like a type of energy plant is the theme. So we saw that yesterday we implemented video. So this is a stock video showing the background, and we're going to have video in the background as kind of a collage effect of pixel art in the foreground with the game, and then realistic, I guess they're GIFs, but longer GIFs. But they're going to be video, so it's not a GIF. A GIF is a specific type of thing, but essentially a looping video. So in like solar, you have light that can then destroy bricks, and then we have a whole bunch of other things like hydropower, nuclear power, biofuels, geothermal, and then you get some sci-fi ones like antimatter and wormholes. And then Omega is an amalgamation of them all. So the tutorial I'm really happy with. So the thing is, can I actually access this tutorial from the menu? So what if I go into one like this and I click the pause menu? So this is the pause menu. This is where I could access like the menu like that. But what if I go into the controls menu? So it's by clicking escape. We do see there's a new one, view tutorial. Does it work? So here, let's just verify some of the other menus aren't broken. Audio works, great. I have music turned off, of course, right now. Keyboard controls. It all works. Let's see what happens. Okay. It's almost worked. As you can see, it's not writing out the text. It just loaded it, because I think one of the things is those text box needed to be reset, which I don't think it did. So I click next. Yeah. Right now you can see I'm clicking enter. It's not writing it. There's even some wonkiness because it's not reset. And now I click enter and nothing's happening. So it's not quite right. It almost worked. That's kind of the case as you're using Claude as a tool. There's always revisions you need to make, sometimes a lot. Like for the video, it took a lot of back and forth to resolve bugs to get the video to work. That's not bad. Go again. Goes again. And if you click skip, does that work? It did work. Let's try it again. Let's try to skip the whole thing this time. Let's do backspace skip. There you go. Did a great job of looking at existing cutscene work and putting that together. Fantastic. So that's all I want to do today for that feature. Is I just wanted to build a framework for it, because I want to do the other framework feature today, which is an achievements menu. So in the game, this is an arcade game, and the main thrust of the game is getting these S ranks. And you see these, I have S ranks across the board because of all the game testing I have, and I haven't reset my save file. But look, I got a C rank here, I got a B rank. I want there to be achievements in the game, like, hey, you got S ranks for all of, hydropower. You got S ranks for all of nuclear, and also like gradual achievements. So you got a B rank for all of the nuclear. You got a C rank for all the biofuels. And then eventually just, little achievements that'll pop up like, you beat nuclear world, you beat geothermal, etc. And then I want internal achievements so you can track how you're doing. And I also want achievements to be connected to Steam so that, you know, you can have your little cute little Steam achievements too. Now, I've never done that before. I have no idea what that looks like. I have an idea in my head of how I would build out an achievements menu. But let's do a new prompt. We've already got all this working. It did a great job. And we're going to build out a new prompt and have it work on an achievements menu. And while it's doing that, we can look through and and maybe identify some background video we can choose for these other worlds. They won't be the final ones, but I want to give this play testing. I'm not going to be married to any given, you know, video in the background at the moment until the release of the game, and then I'll be like, okay, let's really lock down what's going to be playing in the background and how the UI will change based off of the color of what's the background. All right, so we're going to go here and we're going to say, hey, can you save? I'll move this up a little bit. Can you save this context to memory? I'm going to start a new session. I may return to further finish out what was built, but it's a great start. You got to be kind to AI. There's actually been, I think, studies shown that how you interact with it is, of course, it's kind to mirror your emotion, and that good habits of talking to someone who's not a person reflects on how you actually talk to people too. Good luck with the next feature. Look at that. See? So kind. Thank you. I think I wrote out... Did I write out on a piece of paper what I wanted this achievements menu to be? This is not it. Nope. Alright, the actual achievements are not important. We'll move this down like that. And we're going to start a new session. And this new session, we got to write a prompt for our achievements menu. So here we go. Again, I like to put it all in Notepad. You saw like how much of a detailed prompt I had. It was super helpful for it building out a really great first infrastructure that we can build off of for an extra tutorial. So I want to build out an achievements menu. So here I'm going to say this new feature will be an achievements menu. I want the achievements menu to accessible from both the following areas. Now there is Markdown. Learning how to type in Markdown is just helpful for it to interpret it. So bullets in Markdown are asterisks. You can use hashtags, which I think it's called something different in Markdown if you want to do like headings. So like I think this is a big heading and then a subheading would be two of them. So if we want to do a little bit of Markdown, could do this. The title screen. Thank you very much. We got the title screen, we got the adventure menu. Probably below, selecting the levels. Title screen. Just another option between adventure, menu, menu, etc. We got, where else do we want it accessible? Probably from, not the controls menu, but do you want it in the options menu? Like if you're selecting stuff to look at your achievements? Do you need it there? You don't need it there. Nah. Like if you're like pressing start, maybe? Sure, why not? In the achievements menu. And now let's describe what the achievements menu will actually be. I can view a brand new class I want you to build, which will be an achievements class. It will track your progress game and flag achievements, I guess is the way to put it. As you achieve them. Great language. Good English. As you earn them. There you go. Here's a list of sample achievements. Getting C, I don't know, beating given world, i.e. all the levels in a given world. Getting a given rank for a world. C, B, A, S. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Beating all of them at mode. Beating comma mode. Beating gauntlet mode within a given time. So like a speed run. I want to track these achievements. Let's move this up a little bit. And track these achievements internally. And I want to link them to Steam as Steam achievements. The internal ones are more important, but I want to learn how Steam achievements work and how they can be integrated into the game. All right, so that's a decent prompt to start with. And why don't we do a little subheading here, a little heading too. So here we go. You just copy all that in. You're happy with the details and you say, woohoo, bada bing. And it'll start thinking. And it's going to read everything. It's going to read its own MD files to look at memories. And then it's going to look at the code. So as it's doing all this stuff, why don't we start looking at some video that we can get. So let's create a new folder. Oh no, we already have a folder. I have a folder for video here. We can start collecting some videos. Solar panels. Which ones looks cool? I like that. I like having like what's it is? I like having landscape in the background. Man, solar farms are crazy. That one's not bad. Let's just download it. All right, let's see what it looks like. What does it want us to do? Creator. Subscribe to download this premium clip. Ooh. I'm already logged in. What you talking about, bro? Hey, Tommy Ahmed. I do not have free time. But you're free to look at... I have a ton of recorded streams on YouTube. If you want to learn some programming, there's tons of C# and monogame stuff there. So if you want to check those out, you can. There's also a ton of great resources online to learn monogame and C#, which this project is built off of. And if you want to start exploring Claude code, you can do it for free. You can, of course, pay to get more tokens, which allows you to do more stuff each day. But those are good places to start. It looks like with my current plan, which is essentials, that I can't download stuff. It wants me to pay more money. That makes sense. The little music plan shouldn't be allowed to get nice, beautiful stock photo. That's not a bad one if we decided to use Upbeat. I mean, we're already using Upbeat for music, but there's a lot of other cool sites that you can do for video. Let's see how it's doing. Oh, look how quick it did it. All right, let's take a look at what it did. That's pretty quick. I think it's getting quicker because it doesn't need to rescan the code base every single time. It's learning. And again, I'm going to move this over a little bit so you can kind of read along. So create an achievements manager class. It's a new class, not a menu. Good. That owns all the achievement states. And it's talking about the design. I don't think it did it yet because I think it's asking some questions first. Achievement ID, great. A dictionary, that's what I want. A couple methods, perfect. Yep. Achievement detection works by querying the existing level user data. Yep. And gauntlet mode data, exactly. Map to your spec. Again, we'll include more. But again, this is the amount I was thinking about, 54 to 56. Very good. Persistence. We're going to have new save load achievements. XML pattern as this. Yep. Saving to here. Yep. Achievements are global. This is your progress is progress. Exactly. It's a little creepy, just the slightest, that this is doing it exactly how I would build it. An achievements menu class, full screen menu, that is a new game state, scrollable list of achievements, inventory select box, sure, back box, yep, integration into these, that works great. The adventure menu, that is true. Pause menu, add it between these things, that's all good. Steam uses steamworks.net, a NuGet package. You define the achievement API. Hide this. In this until you call a... Oh, okay, that's easy. You call the Steam user stats set achievement and store stats. Wow, okay, super easy. The internal system's completely decoupled. Steam calls are wrapped in this. Cool. Questions before you start. Gauntlet time thresholds. How many tiers do you want? Navigation back. Should it always return to the menu or always go to the title screen? Steam integration now or later. Ah, very good. Which copy do you use to answer these questions? I'm really impressed right now. I am so impressed. Okay. Thought I copied it. Copy. Paste. Let's see. One achievement for beating it. And another achievement for C, B, A, and S, just like beating levels. My goal is to have this mode be the primary speedrunning mode. So S rank will be trivial speedrunners, but still be very challenging. Not necessarily all S ranks, but really quick, but really fast. And then navigation to should always return to the menu. Yes. Yes, it should always return to the menu that it came from. 3. I say, let's do stubs for now. We'll integrate later with Steam once I have the Steam project set up. And 4, achievement unlock notifications. I would love notifications for each achievement. For now, let's do text notifications with a placeholder for sprites for each achievement. Similar. All right. Bada bing. Now I see tokens here. What are tokens? Is a question that you might be asking yourself when you're using Claude. So tokens are generally how much effort that Claude is using in order to do the task. So if I move this over some, you can see it says medium, Sonnet 4.6. Sonnet 4.6 is the current model that it's using. Now it will inherently go between models to do stuff. So I've learned that Haiku is kind of a research model that it will switch to do stuff. Once you get more suited with Claude, which I'm very new to it, you might switch to different models based off of what kind of task you're doing. The effort level is, well, how much effort should it use? This is based off of cost and these tokens. So if it's a low effort task, you might just click low and maybe it'll take a little bit longer. If it's high, that means, hey, we're just going to use more resources to do what you want to do. And then here at the bottom, you can see it says medium, which is what I selected. You can also see the plan. So I have a pro plan, which is the lowest level paid plan, which I just got this week. And here you can see you have a certain number of limits that you get for every 5 hours. You have a weekly limit. And then within your window, it also shows how much you've used. So these are things that you can check. And then once you hit a limit for a given tier, you can't do nothing no more and you have to wait. That's kind of how they've designed it. So I also use, this is something that at my day job, we use Claude as well. And we have similar things, except of course, you know, depending on who you are and where your use of Claude is, we'll have more than this base limit because we're doing way bigger projects there than arcade video game. But as you can see here, it's reading files and it's trying to analyze, well, how did these things end? I actually don't know if I have do I have something that says you won gauntlet mode? I don't think I ever put in anything that says you won. It might have to create something. Oops. Good luck. Take luck. Now we found a solar one. Let's I'm not gonna buy anything or do stuff with Upbeat if I can't find some other good stuff. I don't think it has enough for me. Yo, Josh, it's Claude. Yeah, I'm using Claude now. Starting to look at stock video. Yeah, it's running, man. This is I started using Claude 4 days ago, Tuesday, I think. This is the third day I'm doing. We're doing in the middle of building out new features. So right now, I gave it a whole bunch of instructions to build an achievements menu. So it gave me a design that it came back with, and I said, yeah, answered some questions, and now it's starting to build stuff. So it's pretty sweet. You're using it right now as well? Sweet. Look at all the stuff it's doing. So as Claude's running, you can look to see what it's reading, what it's analyzing, and as it starts searching stuff, it'll show what it's updating as well in Claude Code. Now, I think in terms of finding some cool video to show in the background, I think Upbeat's pretty limited. It says it's the premiere, and I'm like, I don't know. An explainer about allergies? All right, cool. So like, here's all this geothermal stuff, and it's like, yeah, but I want like a power plant. Like, this is just showing some vents showing off steam, you know? I want geothermal power plant. But then it's just like, that's the same stuff. Like, even something like this. It's the same dude, whoever took all these videos of showing steam vents in Iceland. For all of them, it's the same guy. This is probably them walking as they, yeah, I think this is that geothermal power plant in Iceland. It's probably this guy who just took video of all these things and put it on Upbeat. It's an option. It's an option. Like this, showing like some steam. It's steam. But if I want, I don't know. I think one of the harder things will be showing like hydropower. Yeah, we're gonna need some cool stuff that works on loop. Like, of course, you're gonna have dams. Yeah, these are all for the backgrounds of both the adventure menu as well as when you're playing. And there will be different video running on loop. And depending on if you're in the menu or while you're playing. So I'm just doing very brief research. You know, looking at stock stuff, you know. Hydroelectric dams, stuff like that's cool. There's so many different things. Like, this is an easy one to do. But we're not going to do something that's moving like this because it's going to be on loop, so it'll be disorienting when it kind of gets to this point and does it back. I think hydroelectric will be the easiest because showing dams like this is very common. I think the harder ones will be for nuclear power, other than just showing, like, you know, cooling towers. The hardest out of all of them will be deciding what I want to do for a mega, which is like a combination of all of them, which maybe I'll do some weird fusion video of like swapping between them. Popular visual novels use stock images with a filter on them for the backgrounds. That is true. I could do some filter stuff on the video that I have if I want to tint it. Like, if say I wanted to like tint hydropower to be more bluish, like, you know, you could do some cool tinting too. Ooh, pretty water. I have to go to the bathroom and this is not helping. Ah, look, it's working. So with Claude 2, you can go and you can see the updates that it's making as it's going along. So it added a new achievements menu in game state. You can see it's adding it right there. Achievements notifications. Editing stuff like the title screen. Having an achievements box. So I asked it to do a lot of stuff in a lot of locations. So it's going a lot. It's doing a lot right now. No, what would we choose if we're gonna do like antimatter as like uh sci-fi? I kind of just used antimatter. Antimatter is such like a, I wouldn't say a common sci-fi trope, but this idea that you have kind of like black matter, dark matter in the universe. You have this idea that like an antimatter in this game is the idea of splitting atoms apart, which is really just nuclear fission. But this idea that you can take matter and create more matter from matter. That just kind of is the idea. So some sort of sci-fi thing. Let's see. Cool. Do we have any cool sci-fi stuff in here? What if I just put in antimatter? Antimatter. Nothing. Later versions did nicer backgrounds, but the one that exploded in popularity, those got it. Matter. Or let's do sci-fi matter. Nope. Atoms. Got some sort of stuff. Plasma ball. Sure. Love plasma balls. They're so fun. Oh yeah, that's not distracting. You can make it up. Someone else has made up something, right? Someone else has done something funky. It's kind of cool. Blue light hourglass that person made. There'll be something out there. Right now I'm just using the site that I'm using for music just to look around. Send a link for the backgrounds. Yeah, I did miss it. You can try again if you want. Sometimes YouTube, it lags behind Twitch a little bit or doesn't share links. There might be restrictions for sharing links in chat. Yeah, that won't be it, but it's cool what it has in here. More, please. I like a lot of the same people doing just like showing electrode stuff. Pretty. How are we doing in here, Claude? Claude chilling. Claude is not chilling. Claude is working. Uh-oh. Look, we got to the yellow. That just means our context window here is filling up. It's all good. Use them or lose them. Let's see what other stuff is done here. In the game one class, it's gonna have the achievements menu. have notifications and menus draw from that, which is great. Here at the top, it's instantiating the achievements. So we're going to have our achievements loaded in. It's going to load from data these saved achievements if they exist. We're going to have new notifications. Very good. And we'll create these objects and set the instance to the object. Very good. Following those design patterns I already have in the code. We have in the adventure menu, adding in achievements as well. So it has an achievements here as a string object. And it'll have it selected. We'll probably need to modify what this looks like. Has other parts of the achievements menu here. So if this section of achievements is selected, it's going to have what happens when I select it, just like you do for other sections of the achievements menu, or the adventure menu, I mean. Very good. It's adding in achievements as the bottom row. I think that'll be a little bit tricky. We'll see how that works out. So it did a lot of stuff. This was the most I've asked it to do this far. And you can just create an MD file, this markdown file about all its work, putting it in memory. It's verifying the adventure menu return to state navigation works. The adventure menu game state doesn't auto reload, so verify it resets properly. So that's good because there's a lot of stuff that resets when you go to different parts of the adventure menu. It retains its world and level selection state, which is the right behavior. You'd be right where you left off. That's great. And the project it created was Compassionate Edison. Cool. And we'll wait till it's done this little combo. You know, there is something about this, but that's not what it's going to be. Yeah, I don't think Upbeat's going to be the site that we look for this stuff. It'll just take a lot of browsing until I'm like, ooh, that's the one. Ooh. And then once I have a bunch of videos together, making sure that they all align in terms of at least some sort of, like, this feels like it could be in the same world. Which, granted, because there'll be different parts of Earth, because they're stock images, it shouldn't be that hard. All right, all 4 new files are present. The implementation is complete. All 10 tasks were finished. The cheat system is fully wired up. Shoot! Yep, your next steps would be to build and test, then tune the gauntlet rank thresholds once you have real speedrun data. Awesome. So, let's take a look at what it did. So we're going to go here, I believe. Nope, that's not the one. To show where we're going. We'll go back to Switchball. Let's go to Cloud. And let's take a look at what it did. So we already were looking at it in part. Okay. Just cover up my old face. So working tree changes. And these are all the things that it did. It made updates in the Game 1 class, the level class, adventure menu, pause menu, title screen, and game state. Very good. And we have a whole bunch of new objects as well. We We could look in each of these if we wanted. So for example, if we were really curious, what did it do in the title screen? We could do this. We could do a compare with base. It's not showing up right now because I'd have to show it, but this is similar to the merge that we did earlier, where it's showing what's on the left, what's on the right, what changed. So we're going to close this. We'll commit this to its own repo, its own branch. So here's our commit. And we're going to say initial implementation of the achievements menu. Manager and the achievements menu. Achievements menu. Bada bing. And let's do our own project here. It's out of shot, but whatever. We're going to do a commit. It says there's a conflict. There's no longer a conflict because we resolved that in the project items. This is doing a merge commit where we're going to merge all our stuff here. We're not, of course, going to do the Claude stuff at the bottom. We're just going to do the stuff that changed in our core branch. Cool. Now, of course, I could be pushing this stuff, and at the end of the stream, I have my own Git repo. I'll be pushing all these updates. So right now, we're just committing stuff locally, and of course, we want to push them so they're in the cloud in GitHub. But right here, there we are. So here in Switchball, you can see my other projects. I don't care. I got nothing to hide. We got do a little merge. So we're going to do a show more options and merge. And here we have our window. Here, this is our merge window. And we're going to be merging in this one. Oh, it found some conflicts, naturally. So let's take a look at the conflicts that it had. We have one in our JSON, which is interesting, our Claude settings. We have one in game state, and we have one in adventure menu, which is interesting. So I think it wasn't aware of, because we didn't commit to our branch our updates, I don't think it was aware of the other updates that we did in the adventure menu and in game state. So we're going to need to go in here and take a look at adventure menu. Yeah, this was on me. Where I think is this one showing it? No. Let's try this again. There we go. So here we have our merge. Now in a previous one, we updated the adventure menu. I forgot to commit the updates before I had Claude start looking at it. So it was unaware of the stuff we just did for the tutorial, and the tutorial did stuff from the adventure menu. So there's just a couple conflicts that if we scroll down right here, see we have stuff selected for achievements, but we also have stuff for like the video path and things. So probably for the next time we do this, we need to make sure that everything that we have is committed and it's looking at our most current updates. So I'm actually going to do this on my own. I'm not going to do all these merges right now. And I might not even do a merge at all. Let's discard all. Instead of doing a merge, I might just copy over files individually or copy over sections of code. And it's pretty easy to do because we'll have, you know, code here, code over here, and I can just look and paste stuff in until it's all fleshed out. So that's what we're going to do. But that's it for today. Unfortunately, you won't be able to see it because I have these merge conflicts I need to work out, but I'll show it later. It definitely did a lot of work. We were able to get the tutorial up and stuff, and yeah, pretty fruitful. On Monday, I don't know if I'm going to continue clouding with code, coding with Claude. I might be jumping back into a new game. I got to figure out what we're going to be doing over these next few weeks. I have a lot of ideas for what I want to do next, but I'm not going to commit to any of them right at this moment. But for today, thanks for all tuning in on Twitch and YouTube, and you're checking this out later who are curious about how Claude works, and just watching as this game progresses towards playtesting and then release. Have a wonderful weekend. As always, love you guys. Jesus love you too. I'll catch you next time. Peace.